They were saying that you were following them, obviously, and that you got a gun.
That doesn't mean you get aggressive, push me out of the way, start unloading my car.
Push you out of the way?
Yes, at the back of the car.
Lindsay was not answering their phone calls all day today. So they thought she killed herself, to be honest.
Lindsay, your reaction to going home. Your message for the boys. Lindsay, are you excited to see the boys? Your message for your boys at home?
Behind the sparkle of an NFL star's life and the poise of a pageant queen is a twisted story of betrayal, hidden secrets, and a terrifying murder-for-hire scheme.
But where are my kids?
I don't know. They got to be with your husband.
Dive into the jaw-dropping twists of the Shiver saga, a scandal that rocked both the sports world and the beauty scene.
She's the ex-beauty queen accused of hiring a hitman to kill her husband.
How you guys feeling today?
We're ready to see what's happening today. We're hopeful.
You confident?
We're hopeful.
You're hopeful?
Yes.
Welcome to the channel where we dig beyond the headlines and expose what's really going on. From celebrity scandals to gripping true crime stories, we bring you the facts with depth, integrity, and flair.
The whole reason we're here is they said that you were following them, and they said you were harassing them.
Lindsay Shiver, a 36-year-old pageant queen, appeared to have the perfect life. A picture-perfect marriage to 38-year-old former NFL player Robert Shiver, 3 adorable kids, a massive Georgia mansion, and a luxury vacation home in the Bahamas, complete with neighbors like Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Sounds like a dream, right? But in February 2023, that dream started to crack. As their marriage deteriorated, both Lindsay and Robert moved toward divorce, setting the stage for a scandal no one saw coming.
So what's going on? Y'all are separated, or what's the deal?
We have filed for divorce.
Okay.
Living in the same house. It's hell on earth, as you can imagine.
Okay.
But anyway, woke up this morning. We have travel plans to leave. And he's insisting that I don't go.
Okay.
The real fight began when Lindsay and Robert both pursued custody of their children, igniting a bitter and emotional battle even after they separated.
Where's your husband been staying?
Oh, at my house.
Okay.
It's a lovely situation.
So he just isn't home? He hasn't come home yet? Okay.
I'll try my son, who I tried earlier and had talked to, and he told me they were in Wiggum. But now I'm sure Robert's got him not answering the phone.
Even as tensions rose, Lindsay and Robert continued living together with their kids, turning an already strained relationship into a powder keg. Friction intensified day by day, and it finally boiled over on April 30th, 2023, when a dramatic moment was recorded on police body cam footage. The video shows Lindsay in Thomasville, Georgia, talking with first responders and her mother-in-law as she described the heated custody dispute. At 36, Lindsay was trying to navigate the chaos of divorce, far removed from the polished, stable life she seemed to come from. Born Lindsay Shirley on October 28, 1986, in Dothan, Alabama, she was raised in a close-knit home with happily married parents and 2 brothers. She attended the respected Houston Academy before studying at Troy University and Auburn University in Alabama. A former pageant queen, she won Miss Houston County in 2005 and placed second runner-up in the National Peanut Festival pageant. She graduated from Auburn in 2009 with a marketing degree and a bright future ahead. But now, amid divorce and custody conflict, her once picture-perfect life had taken a sharp turn as she recounted the turmoil to police while cameras rolled.
On the way back this morning, they were in Wiggum 30 minutes ago. They were headed home, and then I get the message that he's dropping them with his parents, who have no rights.
Okay.
So as a witness for me, that's why I called y'all to meet me at his parents' house.
You called?
I called. I was the first one to call.
I asked who my complainant was, and they said the white Lexus. And
No, I called first.
Okay.
This morning, and then I've been on the phone with the attorney and trying to dial them to ask them where the kids were and where they were meeting them so that I could call y'all to let.
Lindsay's husband, Robert Shiver, a 38-year-old former athlete, attended the prestigious Brookwood School in Thomasville, Georgia, where he stood out in baseball, basketball, and football. But on April 30th, 2023, the situation reached a breaking point. A deputy from the Thomas County Sheriff's Office responded after Robert's mother called, claiming Lindsay had been following her and making threatening comments, escalating an already volatile situation.
So they called and said that you were following them and harassing them, and that's why.
That's not the truth. I was just trying to see where they were going to meet my kids, if I needed to call you to tell you it was the gas station or...
Lindsay, however, said she was the one who contacted dispatch, acting on her attorney's advice.
What time did you call dispatch?
Let's see. Called a lot of people this morning now at 12:38.
Okay, so that was probably that might have been the original call then. I don't know. There's no crime here, so we're not.
But where are my kids?
I don't know. They got to be with your husband.
Which is what, just frolicking around and can until he drops them with them?
Lindsay believed Robert had the kids, but he wasn't answering her calls. For context, Robert's background included a strong athletic path after high school when he walked on to Auburn University's football team, the Auburn Tigers. Through persistence and hard work, he earned a 3-year scholarship, and by his senior year, he appeared on the 2008 roster as a deep snapper, standing 6'3" in and weighing 222 lbs. He also spent a short time in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons in 2009. After football, Robert moved into the business world, joining Senior Life Insurance Company and rising to executive vice president.
When was he supposed to bring the kids back to you? This morning.
Oh, yeah. No one's answering the phone.
Yeah.
The sheriff's deputy stated that Lindsay's in-laws had also contacted law enforcement, saying they feared for their safety.
The whole reason we're here is they said that you were following them, and they said you were harassing them. And let me read it. I'm pretty sure they said threatening them, but if you didn't talk to them, then...
I didn't talk to them at all.
During the encounter, the first responder said they saw a gun, which Lindsay strongly denied having.
They were saying that you were following them, obviously, and that you got a gun, which isn't illegal. It doesn't It doesn't matter, though.
But I don't.
And...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
God.
the mother-in-law, something is... She's freaking out, apparently.
She's hypomanic.
But
just a mental issue. All three of the people in the car have a mental issue. Diagnosed.
Yeah.
They don't need my kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying the same thing. That's why we showed
up. These are my kids that they don't have a right to.
Yeah.
Can I try to call my husband with you right here?
Lindsay's mother-in-law brought the alleged weapon up again, directly asking the officer about it. Lindsay again insisted she didn't have one, and officials clarified that she hadn't broken any laws. They advised the in-laws to head home, but Lindsay's mother-in-law, clearly shaken, said she was a nervous wreck.
You guys can go about your business, okay? If she's following you or you feel like she's threatening you in any way, from moving forward, you can call 911 again. With what we have right now, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do, okay? This whole thing's been documented and recorded, so you ain't got to worry about that, okay? We just don't have nothing. We're not
There she is, right there.
That's not her.
Is that somebody else?
No, that's somebody else.
Make me nervous. I'm nervous.
Lindsay's mother-in-law then claimed Lindsay had sent a threatening text to her own mother. She also said she didn't feel safe returning home, making an ominous comment about the toxic atmosphere in Lindsay's household. On top of that, she raised concerns about Lindsay's mental state, mentioning the possibility of an overdose.
Lindsay was not answering their phone calls all day today because they thought she had killed herself, to be honest, and had taken an overdose or something.
They said Lindsay hadn't answered calls all day, and they feared she had killed herself, possibly by overdosing. Because Lindsay had been unreachable for hours, her in-laws worried she might have harmed herself. This chilling concern hints at how intense the custody battle between the former NFL player and his pageant queen wife had become. But this was only the start. To see how it began, let's rewind. Lindsay Shirley and Robert Shiver met in a fitness class at Auburn University. They married in March 2010 and spent 13 years building what looked like the perfect life. Together, they raised 3 boys, ages 4, 10, and 11, and enjoyed a luxury lifestyle that included a vacation home in the Bahamas. From the outside, everything seemed ideal, but behind closed doors, Lindsay was unraveling. Restless and unhappy, she eventually looked for excitement in an affair. At home, she played the role of the devoted Georgia housewife. Yet during frequent trips to Abaco in the Bahamas, a more rebellious side surfaced. A double life that would spiral into disastrous consequences. Just 3.5 months after the first body cam footage, another incident unfolded. On July 16, 2023, Thomasville police officers responded at the Shivers, Georgia home after Lindsay called. The video opens with Lindsay in her driveway, speaking to 3 officers. She explained that even though divorce papers had been filed, she and Robert were still living together, an explosive setup that was pushing tensions to the edge.
So what's going on? Y'all are separated, or what's the deal?
We have filed for divorce.
Okay.
Living in the same house. It's hell on earth, as you can imagine.
Okay.
But anyway, woke up this morning. We have travel plans to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And he's insisting that I don't go.
Okay.
And then I have my keys. He moves me out of the way, starts trying to unload my car. Tells me he owns the car, he owns the rights to it. Just got super aggressive, and that's when I called immediately, because he's been physical before, and I'm just not.
Okay.
Nah.
So are you just wanting to leave, or is he supposed to be going with you?
Yeah, we're supposed to be going with our kids.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know that's what I was asking dispatch, like what y'all can do if there's even, but of course now he's inside acting.
Lindsay told officers the family had travel plans that morning, but she called police after Robert physically moved her away from her car and tried to remove their kids' suitcases from it. Their vacation home on Great Abaco Island in the Bahamas had become the backdrop for even deeper marital conflict. Suspecting infidelity, Robert hired a private investigator to track Lindsay's movements on the island. The investigator reportedly photographed Lindsay with her 28-year-old lover, Terrence Adrian Bethel, known as Adrian. When Robert learned of the affair in February, Lindsay's family and friends urged her to end it and reconsider her choices. But by then, Lindsay's feelings for Adrian had grown into an obsession, driving an even deeper wedge between her and Robert. The situation escalated until police were called, as the conflict between the couple turned into what was essentially a domestic violence incident. The responding officer tried to mediate, asking Lindsay what she needed from law enforcement and how they could help as things spiraled.
I mean, I don't know what it is that you want us to do. I mean, if y'all have filed for divorce and y'all are going on a vacation, other than telling him he needs to calm down, I don't personally recommend you go on a vacation if there's an issue like that and y'all have filed for divorce.
Right.
I mean, it's obviously a hostile situation.
Right.
So is there a way that you can go without him, or? I mean, the best thing, what we're going to do is tell y'all that y'all need to separate.
Right.
I mean, has he put his hands on you that, have y'all been physically aggressive today? I mean.
No, just besides him moving me out of the way of my car to get to it.
Okay, what do you mean he moved you out of the way?
Like pushed me out of the way so he could get to my car and start unloading it.
Okay.
The officers then shifted their focus to Robert, but first they questioned Lindsay about whether he had physically hurt her or put his hands on her in any way.
Okay, so what's going on this morning?
So for the last 3 weeks, maybe longer, she's had her couples trip planned with her boyfriend to go to Key West.
Okay, but she just said you're going.
I'm taking my kids, my 3 boys, to the Bahamas this morning.
Our kids.
Our kids. Yesterday, she sent a message saying that she's going to change her plans and now get on the airplane with me and the kids to go to the Bahamas.
But I own too,
and
by the
when
way.
we land, she's going to go to her boyfriend.
Elsewhere.
And me and the kids are going to our house.
After Robert discovered Lindsay's affair 5 months earlier, he confronted Adrian Bethel with a sarcastic line like, "Thanks for taking care of my wife." And he didn't stop there. Robert quickly cut off Lindsay's access to their Bahamas vacation home and their private jet. By early April, Robert filed for divorce, citing Lindsay's infidelity and stating the marriage was irreparably broken. He argued Lindsay shouldn't receive alimony, pointing to her Auburn University marketing degree as proof she could support herself. In the filing, Robert sought sole custody of their 3 boys and requested to keep their $2.5 million, 7-bedroom home in Thomasville, Georgia, along with its furnishings and his vehicle. Meanwhile, Lindsay had been planning a trip to Key West with her boyfriend for weeks, but suddenly changed plans, deciding to take the kids to the Bahamas instead, using their private jet. Robert refused to let her board the plane with him and the children, saying it would only confuse the kids. As a 50% co-owner of the aircraft, with Lindsay owning 25%, Robert said the other co-owner backed his decision to deny her access to the flight.
And you're not getting on the airplane, that can mess with the kids' heads, and it's just something we're not going to do. Well, I own 50% of the airplane. She, on paper, owns 25 of that. And majority owner, the other 50% owner, and myself are both in agreement to not have her on the airplane. So 75% says we don't want you on the plane.
Lindsay alleged that Robert pushed her away from the car during the incident, but Robert flatly denied it.
That doesn't mean you get aggressive, push me out of the way, start unloading my car.
Push you out of the way?
Yes, at the back of the car.
Okay, Lindsay, I did not push you or anything.
He doesn't want me to go.
I raised the back to grab my kids' suitcases.
With a locked car.
So we could leave.
I'm going to tell you both, like I told you a minute ago, y'all are filed for divorce, okay? In situations like this, the best thing that we always recommend is y'all separate. Don't just separate from each other. You don't need to be going on vacation together if you file for divorce and it's obviously a volatile situation.
That's
right.
I don't know how else to put it other than that, okay?
The officer told both Robert and Lindsay that if the pushing had occurred, it could legally qualify as simple assault. As far as the pushing and shoving, say Georgia advises that, you put your hands on each other. That is an act of simple assault, and you can be arrested on that for family violence. Okay. However, because it was a typical scenario of conflicting stories with no solid proof, figuring out what truly happened was nearly impossible.
You're saying he did, he's saying he didn't. So I can't sit here. It's a he said, she said situation. We run into it all the time. So what's gonna...
all of the people that I know, if I'm an aggressive or abusive person...
You want me to show them the photos?
Okay, so here's what's going to happen today. I'm going to generate a report that we were out here and that we made contact with the both of you. I'm going to generate a report that states you said he physically moved you away from the vehicle by pushing you away from the vehicle. You say, I didn't do that. I opened the back hatch of the vehicle, got suitcases out.
Suitcase, and she stepped in front saying you're not grabbing them and moved me out of the way.
Exactly. And I
move you, Robert, for God's sake.
That we're not going to go back and forth. That's how we're going to do that.
The officer went on to file a miscellaneous family violence report. Meanwhile, Robert asked whether it was legal to move luggage from the black Escalade Lindsay drove into his truck.
Now, since I own this vehicle and it's solely in my name...
It's marital property right now. She still has access to it.
Okay, I understand she has access to it, but can I not get my kids' suitcases out of the back?
Yes.
You can get your children's property out of it.
So he can get the kids' stuff out of my car.
It's marital property.
Thank you.
And I don't have any paperwork saying that he's not allowed access to the children's property.
He's just not able to move me out of the way to get it. Right.
As Robert moved the children's suitcases from Lindsay's Escalade to his truck, Lindsay held her ground, insisting she was still going on the trip. Robert countered that the pilot had already said it was too late to add her to the flight.
I'm still going, Robert, so you can take...
The pilot already said, Lindsay, that it's too late to put you on. And that he has to pick up the other owner after he drops us, so we can't be late.
The day after Robert filed for divorce, Lindsay filed her own divorce papers, also stating the marriage was irreparably broken with no chance of reconciliation. In her filing, Lindsay said she felt unsafe at home, alleging Robert had been physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive in front of their children. She claimed she installed locks on interior doors for protection. In her civil suit, Lindsay accused Robert of financially punishing her by hiding assets and cutting her off from the money needed to run the household. She said she was forced into debt she couldn't afford and asked that Robert be held responsible. Lindsay also alleged Robert used their children as leverage, restricting her access and taking them away for long stretches. She argued she had been the primary caregiver since their birth, living as a stay-at-home mom with limited job prospects. She also maintained the affair happened during their separation and was legally condoned by Robert. As the responding officer watched Lindsay prepare to leave, he asked where she was headed. Lindsay said she needed to pick up 2 of her children.
Okay, so are you leaving now?
I have to go get my kids.
Okay, all right.
There's 2 that are at other places.
Okay, all right. Like I said, my only recommendation for you is that y'all just separate.
Well, it's always just going to be a he said, she said.
I mean, you get video footage, you have surveillance cameras, you have something that I can look at and say, yes, he put his hands on you. I mean, you know, we have an independent witness that's non-biased. I mean, you know, something, other statements. But right now I have you and him, and, you know, he's saying one thing, you're saying another, you know. I mean, if it's this type of situation, y'all just need to separate. I mean, just don't be around each other if it's going to be like this.
But how do we do that with 3 kids?
Robert came out of the garage with a young child in his arms and gently placed him into his truck.
So now I'm able to get my kids' stuff back out of the vehicle.
Okay, why are we doing this, though? Why do you need to do that?
Well, because he's taken my kids.
So we're going to go back and so we're going to stand here while y'all go back and forth moving suitcases back and forth between cars.
So that's what's just happened.
If that's what you feel like you need to do, then by all means do it. But you understand it's making the situation worse. And you're doing it in front of the children now.
Robert calmly told Lindsay he was sticking to plans he had made weeks earlier, plans that no longer included her. The officer returned to her cruiser, grabbed 2 pamphlets, wrote the case number on each, and handed one to Lindsay and one to Robert as he carefully buckled his young child into a car seat. Lindsay's lover, Adrian Bethel, is from Abaco and is known there for his charm and laid-back personality. He often socialized with tourists and second home owners in the Bahamas. Adrian worked as a bartender at Grabber Bar and Grill, about 3 miles from Baker's Bay, the exclusive community where the Shivers owned their vacation home. According to a friend who spoke to the New York Post, Lindsay and Adrian first met at Grabber Bar. After Robert filed for divorce, Lindsay made no attempt to conceal the relationship, spending time openly with Adrian and his circle of friends. Lindsay began to believe Robert, whose family owned property in Baker's Bay, was using his influence to create problems for Adrian. Another person tied into this complicated story is Fenn New Jr., also known as Fowl, a childhood friend of Adrian's. Fenn, a hard-working engineer with Bahamas Power and Light, also pursued dreams of being a music producer and rapper. He came from a respected Abaco family and played a major role in rebuilding the island after Hurricane Dorian's devastation in 2019. While investigating a break-in at Grabber Bar, police searched staff phones, including Adrian's. They reportedly found WhatsApp messages and photos shared among Lindsay, Adrian, and Fenn that appeared to discuss a plan to kill Robert Shiver. One chilling message allegedly sent by Lindsay on July 16th, the same day police visited the Shivers' Georgia home, showed a photo of Robert with the words, "Kill him." That discovery intensified the case and set the stage for a legal battle packed with shocking turns. In her police interview, Lindsay first denied sending the messages, but when confronted with undeniable proof, she admitted she sent them, claiming she was only venting and never truly meant for her husband to be killed. Bahamian police informed Robert about the alleged plot, and he quickly flew back to the United States, likely worried about his safety and that of his children. After their arrests, Lindsay, Adrian Bethel, and Farron Newold were transferred from Guana to Nassau, the Bahamas capital. If convicted for the attempted murder plot, each could face up to 60 years in prison. Lindsay was held at the notorious Fox Hill prison in Nassau for 18 days. Known for harsh conditions, especially for men, the facility has a separate women's area where Lindsay was housed. Even in custody, she drew attention for wearing a gold diamond-studded Cartier love bracelet worth thousands. It couldn't be removed because it required a screwdriver the guards didn't have. After 18 days, Lindsay was allowed to apply for bail. She spent 6 hours in the sweltering Nassau police station trying to secure release on a $100,000 bond. Wearing flip-flops, ripped blue jeans, and a tight white V-neck, she looked more ready for the beach than a court matter. Her mousy blonde hair was pulled into a messy bun, and her pink nails were flawlessly manicured. Missing, however, was her wedding ring. In the end, Lindsay was led away in handcuffs and taken back to Fox Hill Prison to await more legal proceedings. A judge ordered her to spend at least one additional night behind bars before a bail hearing the following Wednesday. Early reports claimed Robert had paid $1,000 bail, but it later came out that he did not. Instead, Robert agreed to her release through prosecutors. Lindsay's family eventually wired the bail money to her Bahamian attorney, allowing her to rent a property in the Bahamas, a condition of her release. After she was freed, Lindsay briefly told the New York Post, "I really can't say too much right now. It's been hard, but I can't speak about it." She also mentioned problems with her rental car, adding, "I have to deal with that now on top of everything else, but I really can't say anything more. I'm sorry. Thank you for being respectful." In October 2023, at court hearings for Lindsay, Adrian Bethel, and Farron Newell Jr., all three defendants sat together in the dock, a reserved courtroom area. At one hearing, Farron, wearing a face mask, pulled it down briefly and looked toward the media gallery, seemingly intrigued by the international attention. Meanwhile, Lindsay and Adrian's behavior sparked curiosity. They were repeatedly seen trading lingering looks, touching, and even giggling, actions that confused many given the seriousness of the accusations. At another appearance, their interactions became noticeably more intimate, while Farron seemed disengaged and uninterested in joining in. Lindsay's attorney pushed for faster proceedings, but the hearing was delayed until December because prosecutors said the voluntary bill of indictment was not finished. The postponement left many questions unanswered as the case continued unfolding. In December 2023, Lindsay Shiver and her two co-defendants formally pleaded not guilty at arraignment. A trial date was set for March 4, 2024. While out on bail, all three defendants must follow strict rules. They have to remain in Nassau, wear GPS ankle monitors, and obey a curfew. Lindsay's bail conditions are especially strict. She must wear a GPS tracker, follow her curfew, and uses a rented Kia sedan for transportation. She lives in a leased property on Cable Beach in Nassau on New Providence Island. She can only leave after 6 a.m. and must be home no later than 8 p.m. She also has to report to the Cable Beach police station 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Adrian Bethel and Farron Newell Jr. were each released on $20,000 bonds under strict conditions. Like Lindsay, they must wear ankle monitors, keep a curfew, and check in 3 times weekly at the Central Police Station in Nassau. The restrictions are severe. The defendants cannot contact one another, any witnesses, or Robert Shiver. Lindsay is also prohibited from speaking to her children. All three must remain in Nassau and have surrendered their passports. After his release, Adrian Bethel told the Daily Mail the texts between him, Lindsay, and Farron were exaggerated by police. He said he believed the charges would be dropped and publicly professed his love for Lindsay Shiver. On December 22, 2023, Lindsay was allowed to return to her parents' home in Alabama while awaiting trial in the Bahamas. Still, Robert Shiver has continued to deny her contact with their children. According to Lindsay's attorneys, she spoke to the kids once on FaceTime on Christmas Day, but has had no communication since. In a later hearing, a judge allowed Lindsay to visit Alabama for Christmas and stay there until her Bahamas trial, but imposed strict terms. She may not leave Alabama except to attend divorce or custody matters in Georgia. This limitation keeps her from traveling to Georgia, where her children and former home are. During the holidays, the boys were left with babysitters for long stretches rather than spending time with their mother and extended family in Alabama. The children were told Lindsay was at their grandparents' house, which especially upset the youngest child, adding more strain to the family. Meanwhile, Robert Shiver sold Lindsay's 2021 Cadillac Escalade without her knowledge or permission and removed her personal belongings from their shared Georgia home. Those moves have further widened the divide as the legal fight drags on. On September 14, 2023, reality TV personality Savannah Kreisel made her relationship with Robert Shiver official on Instagram, posting photos of them together, including one kissing. Introducing him to her followers, she described him as the man whose wife recently tried to kill him. Savannah said she admired Robert, emphasizing the relationship was still new and that she appreciated how grounded he was. She revealed she first messaged Robert through Instagram DMs after reading about him online, joking that he was too hot to die. Though the romance is still in its early stages, Savannah has been impressed by Robert's kind heart, attentive listening, and strong communication. After ending her engagement to hockey player Nick Kurtles in 2020, Savannah promised fans she would avoid being pulled into the drama with Robert's estranged wife. Tragically, just 1 week after she went public with Robert, Savannah's ex-fiancé Nick Kurtles died in a motorcycle accident. Despite the loss, Savannah has continued posting happy moments online. On November 5th, she shared more photos with Robert, writing, "You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live a life that lights you up. Don't ever forget that." Meanwhile, Lindsay Shiver's trial, originally scheduled for March 4, 2024, was postponed to the summer. A Bahamian magistrate shifted it to July 2024, with pre-trial hearings planned for May and June. Later, Lindsay's attorneys confirmed another delay, moving the trial to October 2024. The Shiver saga is more than a sensational headline. It's a raw, unfiltered look at how unpredictable life can become. From romance to betrayal, idyllic island escapes to intense courtroom battles, this story exposes the extremes of human emotion and the lasting consequences of our choices. As Lindsay heads to trial, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the lessons are undeniable. Love, trust, and the decisions we make can shape our lives in unimaginable ways. This case is far from finished, and the final chapters promise to be just as gripping as the beginning. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the twists and turns of the Shiver case. If you're drawn to stories like this, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more. Keep watching, keep questioning, and we'll see you next time.